You know, in the world of data privacy, there's a huge gap between knowing the law and knowing what to actually do about it. Today, we're digging into a training program that says it can bridge that exact gap, turning all that theory into real, practical, job-ready skills. Let's see what it's all about. So, let's start with the core problem here. In the super complex world of data privacy, there's this big disconnect. You see, a lot of people have the certifications, they've read the books, but they don't have the confidence. They've got the book smarts, but not the practical, on-the-ground skills to really get the job done.
And this question, right here, it really gets to the heart of it. I mean, you can memorize all the principles of big privacy laws like GDPR in Europe or CCPA in California, but what happens on Monday morning when your boss asks you to build a compliance program from the ground up? That's where theory crashes into reality, and, well, that's where the uncertainty can really kick in.
And you can just feel that transformation in these words from a past student. They totally pinpoint that struggle of having the knowledge but not knowing how to apply it. And more importantly, you can feel that sense of relief and confidence that comes from finally bridging that gap.
Okay, so what's the fix for this? Well, the proposed solution isn't just more training. It's about a completely different format for training, one that's built around a live experience.
All right, so the program is called the Certified Privacy Operations Specialist, or CPOS for short. But here's the kicker. This is not your typical, super polished, pre-recorded online course. Instead, what you get is the full, unedited recording of a live boot camp. We're talking everything from real-time Q&As to all the spontaneous discussions exactly as they happened.
And that contrast is everything. You know, traditional training is often so polished and perfectly scripted. This live approach is positioned as the total opposite, raw, unfiltered, and all about practical application. The goal isn't for you to just passively watch a lecture. The whole idea is to make you feel like you're right there in the room, learning from the messy, unscripted reality of it all.
And really, their whole philosophy boils down to this one line from the source material. This isn't polished, it's powerful. The idea is that the real value isn't in a shiny package. It's in the authentic, functional core of the experience, seeing how privacy operations actually unfold in a real, unfiltered setting.
Okay, so we get the how, this live, unpolished format. But what about the what? What are you actually learning? Let's take a look inside the curriculum.
Well, the whole thing is built on 4 core modules, or pillars, designed to take you from the big picture strategy all the way down to the nitty-gritty details of implementation.
And here's what that journey looks like. You start with the fundamentals, global privacy ops and compliance. Then you move into risk assessment using tools like privacy impact assessments, or PIAs, which are, basically risk reviews you do for any new project. From there, it's straight into the day-to-day operations, like handling data requests, before finally tackling the really techie side, implementing actual consent frameworks and platforms.
But hey, it's not just about what you learn in the sessions. A huge emphasis is placed on the tangible stuff you get to keep, what the program calls your practical toolkit.
And this is where the rubber really meets the road. Instead of just learning about privacy impact assessments, you're walking away with a template to actually do one. Instead of just hearing about data requests, you get a workflow and a checklist to manage them. See, these aren't just study aids, they're designed to be professional tools that make you job ready from day one.
All right, so that's the big promise. But does this approach actually work? Let's hear from some people who've actually been through it.
So check out this first piece of feedback. It goes right back to that practical toolkit we were just talking about. For this learner, having those ready-to-use templates and checklists, that was the key thing that made this training so different from just another theory course.
And here we go, circling right back to that core problem we started with. This feedback hits the nail on the head. It praises the course for showing how to implement concepts in the real world. That's the exact gap this program is trying to fill. I really like this last quote because it comes from someone who was totally new to the field. And for them, the hands-on training wasn't just about gaining knowledge, it was about building the confidence to actually step into a professional role and succeed.
So, when you boil it all down, the central promise is crystal clear. This program is all about being a direct path from just knowing the privacy concepts to having the confidence to actually do the work in a real business environment.
And that kind of leaves us with a big final thought, doesn't it? As professional fields get more and more complex, could this raw, unfiltered, and intensely practical model be the future of how we all learn? Something to think about. Thanks for joining this explainer.